Thomas, it's up for grabs now. Thomas.
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira.
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it.
Fabulous solo goal by pierre-emerick.
What? Loving that. Loving that. Good evening, everyone. We've got there in the end. This is Arsenal Lounge. Mate, it's been got a lot of things to discuss here, but before we go into it, firstly, a couple of things. Lee's been held up. It's got a football match, an important game. So we're hopefully going to see him jump on shortly. For those of you already in the chats asking where he is, so sit tight, guys. So loads to get involved with. So let's just go straight into it. We've got Shaheen, our usual co-host, and without any further ado, Turkish. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Can't complain. Can't complain now, but I'll be complaining shortly.
That's what I think. That's what we're here for. It's weekly therapy now. This Wednesday, isn't it? Shaheen, how you doing? All right?
Yeah, man. I'm good. Yeah, just very, very cold today. I was out and about a lot, so I'm still got a bit of a before we start, I just want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Today we changed times for a different reason, a little bit going up and down. I just want to give a shout out and special thank you to Craig from Same Old Arsenal podcast.
Yeah.
We were going to do something together, and then it didn't work out at the end. But thank you very much again, Craig, for supporting, and we'll definitely do something together soon. And I just want to give him a shout out. And if you guys don't know about Same Old Arsenal podcast, then it's one of the best out there. Follow, go give them subscribe to them. Every Monday they do the show. So thank you again, Craig.
Yeah, no, well said, Shaheen. I mean, they laid down the foundation for what everyone's doing now, in a sense, a long time back. So, well done for shouting them out. But look, let's. I don't really want to get into this Wolves game too much because we've all talked about it for the last 2-3 days. I'm sure Turkish is sick of it. I'm sick of it. Shaheen's sick of it. But we'll very briefly, because it won't feel right if we don't. So, look, we all know what happened. I don't really want to go into the ins and outs of it too much. But very briefly, your thoughts. Mate, do you know what? I will say this. This is the first game that's broken me in a long, long time, guys. Like, I know we've had a lot of, I'm an avid fan. But the last game we saw broke me. I'll say why in a bit. But just very quickly, guys, your thoughts on it. Starting with you, Turkish. I'm sure you're chomping at the bit. So go for it, bro, man. Just hit us with how you felt about it, because I was sickened, man.
Sickened. But I can't say I was broken by that. I've been broken before that, hence why I am the way I am looking at games now. That's why I'm not surprised at the same time, Lev, As much as you say you're broken, I don't know if you've been broken enough times to be fully broken beyond repair. And I mean that by I've had enough of this. I'm not only sick of talking about these results, I'm sick of talking about Arsenal at present, because it's the same roundabout. I keep on saying that it's the same roundabout, and we're back on the manager again.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that's right, wrong, or right. All I'm saying is we're back here again. Like, when are we going to start maybe asking further questions into, hold on, is it potentially bigger? When are people going to ask themselves that? Because I've come to terms with that a long time ago. So I just feel, as much as the result has been frustrating, I think the lack of talk of ownership has been the most frustrating since. I understand the pressure on Arteta. I understand his name is going to be in the headlines. I understand that, but it should be alongside Kroenke. I should be seeing headlines with Kroenke in it, tweets with Kroenke in it, YouTube videos with Kroenke in it, but I don't. I don't. And this is the roundabout I'm talking about. If we ever come to a stage where we are talking about Kroenke, then you'll see some more gusto from me, because then I might think like, right, we're moving in the right direction. So I haven't got much to say about. I haven't got much to say about the game.
Good. All right. Well, don't worry, bro. I'll help you with the Kroenke thing in a bit. We'll get that gusto out of you, man, because I'm telling you, I feel the same way as you do. And Craig couldn't have called these Craig couldn't have called these podcasts anything better, if you ask me. Same old Arsenal. So, you know, well, I'll come back to you, bro, on the whole Kroenke and everything else issues in a bit, and I'll let you sort of unleash. Shaheen, bro, I could. Does that say it all? What you saw a bit of
it was not, you know, I wasn't surprised about the result. If we went and beat Wolves 3-0, I still wouldn't have been surprised, because right now anything is possible with Arsenal. We can go next week and beat Tottenham, and we can go get beat 5-0. I've become a bit numb to it now, if you like, and you know, it's sad. It hurts me to see my club struggling against Wolves at home. It's sad to see players who've dropped levels. It's just the whole thing. It's sad. You know, I know you said you're going to go into it. For me, there's a lot of things happening at Arsenal that doesn't make sense. I can't figure it out. And it was just another poor game. You know, people talk about Aubameyang and this and that, but what is the guy going to do on his own up front? We're not getting in the service. You know, a striker is as good as the service that you give him. If you're not giving him any, you know, Aubameyang is not somebody who's going to hold up the ball. Maybe there's an argument that at this present time, lacazette more suits playing up front, because at least he holds the ball a little bit. He puts it about. Aubameyang, he needs the through balls to run into one-touch finish. And that's not going to happen. So, yeah, disappointed, sad, but no.
But, this show has started off on a right downer, man. Like, we need to pick up this energy, man. So let's get into the areas that are going to get us hyped. Yeah, because what we're doing on the pitch is not getting us hyped. Big up to Aslan Khan, by the way. Big up to Epic. Is it Epic 9 or Epic Nin? JMC. There's a few of you in here. Bring these questions in and we'll come over to them. But let's crack it. Let's go straight into this, boys, right? Let's see where we're going to get lively. So I wanted to delve into where we actually believe the issues lie, right? Because there's a lot of shit going on with our fans right now. Everyone's jumping on Arteta, like Turkish has said. So look, we've got a man here who's been in the job for 10 months, right? Let's be honest. He's got pretty much the same crop of players, barring Gabs and Partey, who Partey hasn't really been playing, so we can leave him out of the equation right now. He's only played twice. He's got Cedric as backup. He's got Mari, who's been injured. We've got the same old team as last season. Why are we expecting anything different right now is a question. And is it Arteta? Is it the players? Is it the club? Is it a bit of us? Are we to blame too? Where is the major issue here? That's where I want to get to with this, right? Or should we be blaming the manager? We've had, Wenger has had most of these players. Emery, Lundberg, and now Arteta. That's 4 different people. Are we expecting too much from Arteta? Is it deeper fundamental issue? That's where I want to go into it with this show. I don't want to talk about the Wolves game. It's been and done and dusted. Turkish, this is where your gusto, I'm imagining, is going to creep to the surface and then explode. What is the issue, the fundamental issue? And what should we be focusing on? Is it Arteta? Is it the players? Is it the board? Is it the club? Is it the owners? Hit us, man. Tell us. What do you think?
No, I'm still passionate about this. The gusto will come when everyone comes on side. When I start waking up to tweets about the owner, Kroenke, when I start waking up to videos about the owner, Kroenke, when I start hearing in interviews after games, in vlogs after games about Kroenke, that's when the gusto will come, because that's when I believe there's some hope. At the moment, I don't believe there's no hope. But you ask what the problems are, and the problems are everything. Everything. We could have an hour show here and talk about how the players are culpable. We could have another hour show and talk about how Arteta is culpable, how Emery might have been, how Wenger might have been. We can have an hour show and talk about the transition from Gazidis and Sven Mislintat to Don Raul and Vinay, to a head coach manager role, to Don Raul leaving, and then we could talk about that side of things. Then we can talk about the board, the out of touch, you know, however old they are at the moment, you know, they are not in touch with the club and modern day football. The board are just there to collect their dividends. We could talk about them, and we could also talk for hours about Kroenke. So the problems are everything. We can talk about transfers we've done for an hour. We can talk about everything, the academy. We can talk about how poor that's been over the last decade for an hour. It's more difficult to find something positive to talk about for an hour. It's probably impossible to find something positive to talk about for an hour, even in the last decade, you know? So the problems are everything. And, oh yeah, fans is another one. You asked. Fans too are the problem. That's another thing we can talk about an hour for, Lev, Shaheen. We can do it. Every single subject matter I've just said, we can talk about that entirely on its own.
Save them for real talk. Save them for real talk Wednesdays, yeah? We'll have 10 of them in a row.
It looks like right now we're going to have to go round and round them anyway, because I'm still trying. I'm still hoping people do get on board in the end, because they are all problems, but the main one that's caused them all to be problems, because once upon a time, the manager wasn't a problem. Once upon a time, the players weren't so much of a problem. You know, I'd argue that maybe the Hele Brzezinski Fabregas era, maybe when we had Van Persie or early Ozil Sanchez, we could have done more in the transfer window and whatnot. But now there's nothing. And it comes down to the owner. And it comes down to the lack of listen, people, every time I mention the owner, I'll always get 10% of people saying, but he spent money. We could argue that, okay, he spent some money. He spent self-sustaining within our own means, not out of his pocket.
He's actually spent no money.
But not himself. But at the same time, I'm not just talking about spending money. That's why I don't want to dwell on it too much, because it's bigger than that now. Once upon a time, it was just spending money. Now it's who you're putting in charge of spending that money. How comes you're changing them every year, every 2 years? Not only manager, we've changed twice since Wenger. We've changed the people above the manager twice since Wenger. You know, so it's a mess. And now you look, it's inexperience in there. And this all stems from the owner. And now you have Ornstein saying the owner has come out in full support of Arteta. Do you know why that makes me laugh? Because that's the person we should be blaming. And he has the cheek, or they have the cheek, to feed to the press, yeah, that they are in full support of the man we are majority blaming right now. Is
that not a way of kind of taking the heat off you by doing that? Like you're kind of putting the limelight on Arteta by even doing that. You're saying I'm backing him, right?
They wouldn't have the chance if a lot of the direction was aimed at them.
Yeah.
Because I understand some of it to Arteta. I completely understand it, rightfully so. But it needs to be shared. There's more people culpable than just the manager, than just Wenger, than just Emery, than just Edu, than just Raul. There's more people culpable, and it goes higher up. You know, the board's so out of touch. All of those names, if I just read them out now, it might be 70s, 80s. You know, it's just the club is just dividends. Then the owner, the club is just an asset. That is where the problem lies, and everything else has become a problem because of it. And now they have the cheek to come out confidently with their chest out, tell us to be excited, tired for 2 years. You know, they do what they want now. And that's our fault as well as fans, as well as the players, as well as Arteta, Emery, Wenger, as well as the people. It's a mess. And that's why I'm just so like, here we are again.
Well, Aslan's coming out with some Turkish. He's saying, yes, Aslan. Lovely. Look, you know what? You're right. We could break it down to lots of different shows with lots of different individual areas that we could highlight, from the manager to the coaches to the players. You're 100% on that. We can't do that on one show, right? We can only touch on everything. But the fundamental for me is the owners. The problem has stemmed from up there, in my opinion, and they've let the rot sort of. It started off a little bit, and then it started to eat its way in, and then now it's got so bad that it's culminating in other issues and other areas from managers that may not want to come to our club because of these fundamental issues. They look at our budget and they go, you know what? Why do I want to come there? The Allegris, the Simeones, Pochettino's, any type of manager will look at that right now and think, do I really want it? And you're right. It's all stemmed from up there, and slowly from them taking too long to getting rid of it from Wenger. That lasted another 10 years too long. And this is all the knock-on effect of other things that they've been in charge of. But I'll go into my sort of thoughts a bit later. Shaheen, you've heard what Turkish has had to say. You've heard what Aslan Khan has had to say. Sick did git, which I will tell you what it means later on. What do you think? If I was to ask you to pick one fundamental, because we can't go through everything, Turkish has already said that. What's your one fundamental issue with all of this? Aaron Benjamin, $4.99. Great show, guys. My fave podcast. Big up, Turkish. Thank you, Aaron. Thanks for coming on again, bro. Shaheen, your thoughts, bro?
Look, I can't say one thing that this is the problem, and if this gets fixed, everything else will go. Kroenke has run Arsenal as a business. So if you want to look at it as a business, the buck ultimately stops with the owner of the business, because everybody else come and go, and it's the owners that are saying. Now, Kroenkes, they like to refer to the ownership of Arsenal as we're the custodian. So this, this right now under our custodialship, this and that is happening. And since they've been here, there's been a decline on Arsenal Football Club. When they took over the club, we've been beating Real Madrid away, Inter Milan away, and San Siro. We were beating Barcelona at home. And if you look at then to where we are now, a lot of people have come and gone. There's only one factor that is common in everything, and this is Kroenke and his enterprise. The problem that Arsenal have and Kroenke's right now is I don't see anybody from Kroenke's right up to Arteta that is an Arsenal man or a football man or somebody who understands Arsenal Football Club values. What is it about? Somebody like a Tony Adams, David O'Leary, Vieira, Keon, Bergkamp, that sort of guy.
Edu and Perez not enough for you? Edu and Perez?
Well, Perez is not really around, is he? Edu, well, no, not really. What experience has Edu got? He was just, he was a coordinator for Brazil national team. Next thing you know, my man is director of football at Arsenal Football Club. Zero experience in European football and English football. What contacts or wonder has he got in the European football to try to pinch players and get players in? Nothing. Arteta right now, he needs help. This guy, I've said this about 1 month ago, and he's out of his depth. And that's clear for everybody to see. And that's not down to him. It's not his fault. He didn't give himself the job. The problem is somebody somewhere in a club thought that he's the best candidate out of probably Allegri, Mourinho, Pochettino, whether you like these guys or not, whether you wanted them or not. They're all probably better options than Arteta. But he needs help, and he's not getting any help. Who's going to give him any advice of how to come out of a sticky situation? He hasn't been backed by the owners. As the title said, he's a dead man walking, because he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. Nothing is going to happen. He's come out and he said he needs 4 or 5 players. But we all know that's not going to happen at Arsenal. And that is the problem in my view. This might have led to him, he hasn't done anything to make it easy to defend him, coming out and taking this Mesut Ozil thing, and it's my decision, it's for footballing reasons. So everybody's now saying, Willian is better than Ozil, that sort of thing, or other weird decisions that he's made. So it's a bit of a difficult one, really, to say where the problem is, because it's a combination of a few different things.
Okay, right. So look, you think basically that by the looks of it, they've taken on Kroenke's taken on Arteta, and you said that this is the man that they've picked. The question is, have they picked him because he's a yes man, or that's? I don't believe Arteta is a yes man.
No, he's a yes man. Of course.
Wait. Let me speak. I don't think he's a yes man. I don't think he initially went in as a yes man. In my opinion, I think he went in really wanting to make a change. The way he went in with the word of the day, because of Turkish, gusto. The way he's gone in there with a real sort of mindset that he wants to make a splash and he wants to change things. I do, however, believe that he's maybe underestimated the shit that's rolling down from up above that he's had to take on, the other things that are going on at players level, at squad level, that he's had to inherit with the Ozil situation and all of that. I think what's happened is he's been forced slowly into being one, sort of unwittingly, because he's probably coming with the best intentions to say, oh, the Ozil situation was my fault. I think he's come in as a hero to try and do that, to steady the ship, not realizing he's taking on more of the blame himself. I just don't understand where people as fans and whatever believe that this guy has had the fair crack at it, has got the right backing at it, and why they think that doing the same thing, playing the same players over and over again in different formations is going to make a difference. Look, well, he's playing 5 at the back, then everyone said he's got to go 4-3-3. He's gone 4-3-3. That's not working either. Like, if he goes one formation, he's lacking in certain areas. If he goes another formation, he's lacking in certain areas. What difference is it going to make if the personnel's not correct? So I think he's getting a bit of a whipping that's a bit unfair. Turkish, you've heard what Shaheen's had to say. You heard what I'm saying with regards to personnel. Does it really matter what formation he plays at the moment with this current personnel, especially in the fundamental areas like the midfield, where, let's be honest here, Xhaka does not have the legs or the mobility or the physicality in that midfield, especially playing in a 2 or a 3. I don't think he cuts it. So what do you think he can do any different? And is it fair that for him to be getting all this flack at the moment? I've seen loads in the chats, Arteta out and all that. We'll go through those in a minute. Is it even fair to be cracking the whip on him so hard at the moment? What's your thoughts?
Is it fair to be cracking the whip on him so hard? I can't say if it's fair or not. All I can say is that it's not just him, All I can say is that there shouldn't be so much emphasis on Mesut Ozil anymore. His name already put Unai Emery under pressure. His performances did nothing for us after Unai Emery got sacked. Nothing, So why does his name still cause problems? He's been left out. That's it. The manager took it on his chest, and I actually believe it was his decision. I believe that Ozil let Arteta down with that pay cut stuff and all that. That's what I believe.
You think it was Arteta's decision?
I do. I actually do. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. I don't care that he did that. I don't care. Even in this situation now, do you think Mesut Ozil is going to come and save us in this situation we're in now? Mesut Ozil will join in with this situation that we're in now. So fans that kid themselves and use Mesut Ozil as a stick to beat Arteta with, honestly, I don't know what more to say than they're deluded, because things like, let's start Maitland-Niles ahead of Bellerin. I've said that, but I can also say that starting Maitland-Niles over Bellerin does not guarantee anything. It does not improve anything much. Our standards have dropped down so low, that we're giving too much emphasis on people and formations and all of this crap that means nothing when the players are just not capable. Our plan A is not capable, let alone our plan B's and C's, in certain positions. Like you said, Granit Xhaka, we've had him for years now, since he's been at the club, 5th, 6th, 5th, 8th. 5th, 6th, 5th, 8th. He's been primary central midfielder in that time. But as a football club, what are we doing? Because last season, I done a video where I said, okay, what midfielders would I like to see at Arsenal in 3-4 years? And the only ones I said were Torreira and Guendouzi. Who did we let go of this summer? Torreira and Guendouzi.
That's a massive point, bro. That's a massive point. How did we keep Xhaka and El Neni and Ceballos and get rid of Torreira and Guendouzi?
And listen, and I know a lot of people will then turn, because it's easy to do, and say, Arteta, you're a mug for convincing Xhaka that he should stay. But listen, I've been a manager, and if you're getting not orders from above, but restrictions from above. Now, on one hand, you got Granit Xhaka, who, this is how I'd look at it. He's poor. He needs to go. He's not good enough in the long run. On the other hand, I got an owner and a board telling me that, listen, this summer, you can only really buy maybe one defender and one midfielder, and then you could potentially get a loan in. I'd have to be looking at it like, shit. Well, Guendouzi now, he's let me down. Torreira's not happy in England. Xhaka's going to be needed, even if I don't like him too much. So, Xhaka, I'll give you another chance. Xhaka, play. But he'll get beaten with that stick, when in reality, it's probably not what he wants. It can't be what he wants, and it really can't be what Emery wanted either. And Wenger got it completely wrong, because it is what he wanted, and it didn't turn out to be anything, even 4 years down the line. So in reality, I look more to it as what must have happened behind the scenes for that one to work out like that. And imagine we didn't have Xhaka on top of it now. Who the heck? And I'm not saying that I would care, but who would be in the middle right now?
Yeah,
I don't even know what would be going on. You know, so essentially the hands of the manager are tied, and people like Bellerin, people like Xhaka, people like Mustafi, due to maybe a contract and wages, Ozil wages and contract, they're still hindering the manager after they hindered Emery and they hindered Wenger, because these are the same players that let Wenger down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, this is what I'm trying to get at. I mean, we're sitting here like judging Arteta. There's loads of people in this chat here saying Arteta's shit, and get him out and this, that, and the other. But then, if your hands are tied, how much can you do? He's had a much more experienced manager in Emery come along and not managed to deal with this situation. In fact, you could argue Arteta has done one better, and he's actually won a trophy. But you're right. I 100% believe the only reason Xhaka's at that club is because Arteta did not believe that they were going to find anyone to back him up, support him with a replacement. And I don't think he was confident in getting it. And, you know, he's made decisions based on it. Because I personally think he wouldn't pick Xhaka to start if he had the right players. I think Partey is to replace Xhaka. I keep saying it. But there's a lot of players that aren't right. And there's a lot of dead wood. And the rot set in a long time prior to Arteta, and even this Ozil situation, although we don't want to talk about him being, coming in and playing, I think what it's actually done is caused unrest within the squad, because there's a certain amount of players that are loyal to Ozil. I personally will say my opinion on that, Turkish, is Arteta did what he did with Ozil because I think that it was more higher up than him. I think they've done a media spin. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's right to play and whatever, but I did think there was more of an issue outside of football politics that meant that it was going to cause them in their back pocket. They had to find a reason. I personally think it was a media spin that's landed Arteta in all of this crap, and I think it's actually maybe caused a split, a divide within the squad, because they're looking at that and they're believing, whether it's right or wrong, that Arteta's dropped Ozil not for footballing reasons, and I think it's caused an issue. But, that's my opinion. Shaheen, you've heard what Turkish is saying, what I'm saying. We could judge Arteta all day long, but he's got the same personnel.
Look, I said this, I've been saying this for a while, that Arteta is a yes man, just purely because of his actions. The only thing that you said, and is his defense, is we don't know what he's been told.
Yeah.
When he had that meeting with Vina, he could have been told a lot of positive things to come in, and then none of it has materialized.
Yeah. Aubameyang stayed, didn't he? Aubameyang stayed. He must have heard something.
Look, he's in a difficult position, Arteta, right now. And look, getting rid of Arteta is not going to solve anything. It could even make things worse, because the names that is going around for people to come and then manage Arsenal, I don't think Arsenal will particularly go for those sort of people, because again, the owner and the board, to a certain degree, are of a caliber that they don't like somebody to come in and challenge and ask for money and push them and question them and that sort of stuff. I agree with you in terms of the split in the dressing room. Look, we all agree this Ozil thing hasn't been handled well at all. If you're not going to include him in the squad, then sell him, get rid of him, pay him up, or whatever it is you need to do it to get it. Because right now you've got a guy that is training every day with the first team for whatever reason, contractual or any reason, but he's not getting a game. And there are people in there that possibly are his friends, and they see in this, and it could have an effect on the dressing room, I think. But to answer your question, I don't think it's Arteta's fault, because if he goes, the main problem, which is the board, the owner, and the recruitment process, is still there. So next player comes, still going to have to work with a similar sort of player who he probably will go and ask for, I don't know, some OR type player, And you're just not going to get that because it costs too much, or Arsenal don't have funds, or the owner is not going to cough up with the money. So it's just going to be the roundabout that Turkish said earlier. We're just going to be back to square one. And then what? We're going to turn on the manager again as well. How many times we've turned on the managers? One, it was Wenger. He went, Emery came. Emery, this and that, gone. Now, again, people are turning on Arteta. You know what? If you get rid of Arteta, then we're going to wait another year. Somebody comes and don't walk out, turn on him again. The danger here is that it could get really bad, that it may not be an attractive job anymore for somebody with a good reputation to come in.
I think we're getting there already, aren't we? Like, we've had some big managers looking at it, and they've not jumped at it, have they?
Yeah, probably. Look, if you want to go for somebody like, I don't believe Mourinho was at Emirates with Raul to watch a game of football. He probably was there to have a chat, and they were talking. And the type of manager Mourinho is, he probably would have asked for guaranteed a certain amount of money, and he probably wasn't given that sort of money. Allegri, maybe Pochettino, Luis Enrique, they can't all. Arsenal is a massive, massive brand and name. Nobody can tell me none of those guys are, they thought, we're going to take a year out and, come. No. If Arsenal come, you go. Unless there are terms that are on the table that you're not going to risk your reputation. And that is a problem. Somebody who this would have been a step up like Arteta, he would have come in and got the job. Has he got the potential to be a great manager? Yes. Should he have gone somewhere else to learn and then come manage Arsenal? Probably, like a Patrick Vieira route. But as I said, the problem is just the owner and the board, and until that is resolved, what's happening right now will just keep happening and happening and happening.
Agreed. All right, before we crack on with anything else, I want to go into some of the chats. I can do it from here as well, Sheen. Aslan Khan.
Yeah. Do it, then do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. Also, man, I could go into this all day, but let's go through some of these first. All right. So we've got somebody. It's like a dating site. Turkish. Are you actually Turkish? From Turkey, or is your nickname Turkish? And also, are you Muslim? Right. You got all the cutting edge questions here, man. Don't know if you want to answer that. I'm
Turkish. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely Turkish. He doesn't call himself Turkish just for the sake of it. We've got JMC says Ramsey and Sanchez money would have been 100 million, which could have been reinvested back into the team. How did the board and owner let Wenger get away with not selling these two or extending their contract? That's a very good point. We've asked that question a few times. They've let a lot of big players. I mean, even your Sanchez's and all that, we got nothing for. JMC, why wasn't Lacazette sold in the summer when we got a good offer for him? Lacazette is not good enough to play up front. And that's for Arsenal, that's a fact. Yeah, you could argue that. Well, who could argue that right now with his current form? We've got Abdul Hamim. I could see you've been asking for your stuff to come up, so we're doing that for you, bro. For me, have to get the manager right. End of the day, the owner gave us funds to get at least top four. If the manager cannot even get us top four, then manager is the issue. Hold on, though, Abdul. He gave us funds. He didn't give Arteta those funds, did he? Arteta didn't have those funds for a start. I'm sure Turkish, you want to say something quickly on that, mate?
Nah, to be honest, he's talking a lot of rubbish in the comments. But that's one of them there. Like, come on, man. Like, who did we buy? We're a team that he picked up 8th. And this is not me, but it's going to sound like I'm backing Arteta, but I don't give a shit about him. But this is a team that a manager picked up in 8th place. Yeah, 8th place. Went into the summer, they bought two players and took one for free. Yeah. And you think that's enough to get top 4 out of a side that hasn't made it in 4 years? I don't know where that's come from, apart from an agenda, and that's not me being Arteta in, because I'm neither Arteta in or Arteta out. I don't care about the manager right now. I care about the people above. So that is just rubbish at the end of the day. Like, at least talk sense if you're going to say something. Don't just make something out of thin air. And this is what a lot of fans do to fit their agendas.
Abdul Hamim, stop being silly. You've heard it from Turkish. If you're going to put some questions in, make them some real ones. Otherwise, Turkish is going to say your same thing to you
No,
again.
you know what it is though, because later on he says some things that were right as well. In between the rubbish, he said a lot of things that were correct. That's why that annoys me, because you do understand the true problems at the club. And you said something like puppet. I think one of his comments was a puppet. He is a puppet. That's fine. But this is what a puppet is. You know, you put a puppet here. Yeah. This is the owner, this person here, not this. This is another puppet. You attack this, he can take it off and put another one on. How many times are we going to keep on attacking the fucking puppet? When are we going to attack the man behind the puppet?
Don't attack the puppet. The puppet master is all we need to go for, is what you say.
It's
And Abdul's regretting saying this now. Please show my message. Okay, we've got through the middle suite. Arteta is a disgrace. That's a bit strong, I think. We need a strong manager. Stop calling out the cronkies. They don't play on the field. It's the players and the manager. The same players you're talking about, the same players that let down 3 other people prior to him. The same players that are like not performing on the pitch. You talk about your xhakas and your Ceballos and people like that. What same players are you talking about? I don't understand. I mean, I can understand that you could question the manager, but let's like at least give him different players. Through the middle suite again, this players under Klopp would probably win the league. What? Turkish, Shaheen, these players under Klopp, do they win the league? Very quick answers, please.
No, mate. No chance.
Do you see why I haven't got gusto no more, man? How can you have gusto when you might as well talk to a wall, you know?
Jeez. Aslan Khan, the day Mikel Arteta pounding his chest said with chest, it was his decision to drop and leave Ozil from the squad. Lied for the owners. Yeah, I agree with that bit, Aslan. Was the day he picked up the pickaxe and shovel to bury. Do you know what? That is one comment I'll have to agree with. Yeah, I think he had the fans at one point, and then when he got involved in this, and then decided to say this was my doing. Our opinions differ, guys. In here, obviously, why I think he's done it, and Turkish, you think he's done it genuinely. I personally think he took one for the team, shall we say? Either way, the day he started that. I think is the day things started to go on shaky ground. Let's see what else there is. Don Man. There's only one Don in here. That's Don Pablo up there on our left. Bring back Giroud. Man is a baller and was very underrated at Arsenal. We have no striker like him. Do you know what? I couldn't stand Giroud. But, like, there's an argument for that at the moment. That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Shaheen, I'm going to bring you in on one as well, bro. Let's have a look here. Turkish always nails it. This man knows his shit, Lee. This is a Spurs fan, you know, by the way, yeah? I don't know what you're doing in here again, Lee. You're here every week, aren't you? Arteta could have kept some fans on this side, but not getting involved in the whole Ozil saga. He tried acting like a G when everything was going well. Shaheen, what's your thoughts on that? Do you agree with what we're saying? Do you think he did that deliberately? Do you think it was his fault? Or do you think he just took one for the team?
Mate, he did what any yes man would do.
Boy, Aaron Benjamin, $9.99. Turkish and Shaheen are right. The recruitment is single major problem. I did £9.99 just for you, Levan. But thanks for your support, Aaron Benjamin. Yeah, it's more than the $4.99. There's still a 99 in there, regardless. But thanks for telling me Turkish and Shaheen are right and not saying I was right. That's really kind of you. Flo Zanelli with some weird currency, $79.99. I don't think that's pounds. We all know the problems we have in owner. Oh, Flo. It's Flo Zanelli, by the way. He's a friend of ours. He sent me a load of videos from, I don't know, Australia on some sort of plantation, and he was shouting out Arteta out. We all know the problems we have in owner and board, but open your eyes and judge this manager on the field. He looks out of his depth and he's learning on the job. A big club like Arsenal can't afford. Yeah, Flo, I'll agree with you. Big club like Arsenal shouldn't be having Arteta, but we're not acting like a big club, are we? Shaheen, what you got? Well, Turkey.
In place. Who put Arteta in place?
Yeah, we're not acting like a big club.
Look, we're talking about the same issue again. You know, Arteta is not an issue at Arsenal right now. You know, you need to, as I said. Say again?
He is an issue, but he's not the issue.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not the issue, right? Somebody has put Arteta there where it was. That's my point, right? So if Arteta, so there's two things. One, those people who put Arteta there are not going to have the bottle to sack him when they need to sack him. So they'll probably mess that up big time as well.
Is it because they don't have the ball, or they don't want to? They don't want to.
There's going to be these same people are the ones that are going to go through the recruitment process again. So this is the problem here, that you've got people in charge of recruitment of players, managers, or whatever, that are not doing their job properly at all. At all. So if Arteta goes, they'll probably go for someone like Eddie Howe.
Yeah,
you know, somebody like that, somebody
100%,
that would come in and be like, oh, this is a big opportunity for me. Well, how much are you going to give me? £30 million budget? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, let's go. I'm going to go and prove that everybody that I'm a good manager.
First signing, Ryan Fraser, probably.
There we go. You know, they're not going to go for like an Allegri or a proper manager that needs to come in, you know, and sort these issues out. Somebody who's got experience, know-how, you know, somebody who's got a proven track record. Because the first thing this guy would say, how much you giving me because you've got a shit to squirt? So this is the problem, you know. And if Arteta goes, there's going to be, as I said, a similar sort of play. We need to direct our energy to where the main problem is. And in this case, it's the owner and the recruitment team.
Do you know what?
That's my point of view.
Agree with you, Shaheen. Like, and Turkish in particular, I know you've told us about this a lot of times. My frustrations mostly are with the fans and the board. I'll be straight with you. The players, I've lost faith in those players seasons ago. I know they're not right. And until we don't get rid of 5 or 6 of them, until we get rid of 5 or 6 of them, much is not changing. But my problem is, like, some of these fans in chats, and I've got all respect for you guys with your support, yeah, but you're like, get the right manager first, then attack the board. I think that's the wrong way round. The board's had enough trouble, chances to sort this out. It's them that keep hiring the managers. You're missing the massive point here. Who is making these acquisitions? Who is hiring the managers? Who's hiring the directors of football? Who's hiring the scouts? Who's hiring all of these people? It's all under the same stewardship, under the same ownership, and it hasn't been right for ages. Like Turkish has said, Mislintat, it came from Borussia Dortmund with a huge reputation for scouting, right? And he wasn't happy with the type of players we were going for. He left to go to a second-tier German team. Left Arsenal to go to a second-tier German team. Who does that? Something is fundamentally wrong. You guys are sitting here saying, get Arteta out. A load of different accounts are saying the same thing. But you can get Arteta out all day long. He's not just a puppet. For me, he's a scapegoat. He's taking all of this, right? And they're sitting there up there while you guys are focusing lower down the pecking order, and you're blaming Arteta, and he's taking all of the stick, in my opinion. So there's loads of it in here. But look, we'll try and hold back a little bit. You know, keep the questions coming in the chats, guys. Abdul Hamim you've won him over a little bit. I'll give them one more chance to get the right manager. Abdul saying, no, mate. He said, I think you're missing the point, Abdul. It's not about chance. 15 years, 10 to 15 years worth of this shit. Their decline, steady decline. No.
Yeah, they've had enough chances, man. We missed out on a potential Klopp or a Guardiola by leaving Wenger on too long. Just because they didn't put Wenger in place doesn't mean they didn't make a bad decision there. They allowed it to go on too long, and we missed out on 2 top managers, and things could have been different. That's their fault. Then they brought in Emery. It didn't work out. Emery actually was honest with us. Like, he told us we can only loan players, we can't buy. So don't moan to me when I'm just trying to get who I know in. Dennis Suarez, like that's the person and you know what that shows? That shows that what the fuck were the people above him doing? Because Unai Emery had a connection with Dennis Suarez. That's why we got him. But it's not Unai Emery's connections that should be getting us players. It should be the people above getting us players. You know, highlighted 3 months before a window, not in the window working out what we can do. But again, like, you can't keep on giving this board a chance. Why would we keep, like, why do they deserve another chance? It's not only managerial stuff they can be blamed for. It's everything. It's literally everything that they can be blamed for. They ruined Wenger's name near the end. You know, they ruined Wenger's name near the end, but man are still giving them chances. You know,
yeah, these guys are talking about giving them chances and stuff. You're 100% right, bro. Like, at the end of the day, these guys have got it wrong systematically. From the time we've left Highbury, they convinced us. And to be honest, I believe that Wenger probably did have the best interests at heart initially. He thought the self-sustaining way was the way forward. You know, he wanted to keep the Arsenal classy Arsenal thing, didn't want to be bought out by some, you know, dictator type owner. Maybe he had the right intentions, but the game changed very quickly with Abramovich and all these others coming in. They changed the game. We've got owners with the money. The fact of the matter is, we as fans, I think, are hugely to blame. We sat back, we blamed Wenger, which we probably had a right to at the time.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it's been going on for 10, 15 years, and we've sat back bickering about AFTV, bickering about it's this person's fault, it's this fan's fault, it's AFTV negativity, or it's this or it's that. And while we sat there bickering, these guys at the top were getting away with murder. And while they were getting away with murder, right, they were happy because they were making the money. They made money off Wenger. They made a lot of profit off Wenger. They made a lot of money off us with the false promises, and we were paying extra money and all of that. They got away with murder, and now we're starting to see it, but we're still making the same mistakes, focusing on each other, focusing on this, until someone in here, I think it was Abdul Hamid or somebody else in this chat group said, what are we going to do? All right, we know the ball's right, the fault. What are we going to do? There's only one thing we can do. Unless we join up and unify as a fan base with one common goal and one common agenda, nothing's going to change. Simple as that. And you know, Turkish knows that more than Turkish has done loads to try and help with movements. Shaheen's done the same thing. He got a plane up in the sky and he got chastised for it. So until, as a fan base, we come together, nothing is changing. That's my opinion on it. But let's move forward a little bit, yeah?
Just before you go,
go on, Shaheen, go on, mate.
Just before you go on, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching. Just please hit the like button. It helps us getting the video around. Subscribe to our channel, the Arsenal Lounge. Subscribe to Turkish's channel, Turkish LDN on YouTube. Lee, he said he's got a football game. So as soon as his game finishes, he's going to join us. It's a cup game, so he can go to penalties or anything. So I'll send him the link and he can come on anytime. Thank you very much for the super chats as well, guys, especially Flo. Really appreciate it, man. And Aaron Benjamin, you're always a regular, donating. And thank you very much. We really appreciate the super chats. So, yeah, just please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, Turkish's channel. And, yeah, I just want to say that. Go on.
No, thanks for doing that, bro. You know, I always get wrapped up in this shit and forget to say these things. So, yeah, hit the likes. As I say, keep smashing those likes, everyone. So, look, guys, we're going to go back to the chats in a bit, but there's a lot of people saying, about the game.
One more. No, I've got to pick out that last one there from Abdul. Please bring it up. It's easy to blame the board rather than going against the PR machine.
Abdul's getting spanked by Turkish today. Go on, Turkish.
It's outrageous. It's just outrageous. It's outrageous that we have fans that think like this, The PR machine is Kroenke. Everything runs through Kroenke. All of it is approved and disapproved by Kroenke. What are you talking about? It's easy to go against the board. How is it easy? That's the hardest thing to do in football. Ask Newcastle fans how easy it is to go against the fucking board. Nah, man, this thing like this, and it's not just Abdul. I get angry because it's a lot of fans that I don't know if they're just watching and saying things like this. They might as well be. I just don't get it.
You know what? You're right, bro. There's,
nah.
No, you see, there's a lot of people who just come out and say, Arteta. And then if you sit the guy down and tell him, right, okay, bro, tomorrow they're going to sack Arteta. Who do you want come in? I want Pochettino. I want Allegri. They don't see the process behind sacking, recruiting, the conversation that needs to go on. Or actually, the problem is not the manager. Well, he is right now, but the main problem is not manager, because if they get rid of him, these are the same people who extended David Luiz, signed Cedric Suarez for free, gave Arteta the contract, possibly extend xhaka. I don't know if Xhaka done his extension or not. Let Ramsey walk away for free. Let Ozil run his contract down. Mustafi is going to walk away for free. Socrates has been frozen out for what we don't know. Maitland-Niles can't get a game. We don't know why. Lacazette is running his contract down. He's got about 15 months left on his contract. So these are the people that are messing up this club. Not you can't just come out and say Arteta out and then not have any plan B. That's it.
Well,
So,
look at Flo here. Like Flo, you could come on Friday or so. We can't get you on today, mate. Boys, I can't stomach it anymore. Get me on. I'll counter your points. Flo is very Arteta out. He's very, pro Arteta out.
Listen, there's nobody that can tell me different. Nobody. Arteta is a problem. This is what people are not understanding. Man is agreeing that Arteta is a problem. But I'm telling you, don't trust the people in charge with the next appointment, because it's not going to be who I want. It's not going to be who you want either. It's going to be who they want. Yeah. And the last 3 that they've wanted, including keeping Wenger on for the last 2 contracts, have been incorrect. So why are we trusting them again? Haven't we learned? Are we not foolish? How many times can you fool us?
It's like the Wizard of Oz, isn't it? It's like there's a guy behind the screen. Everyone's believing this yellow brick road lies where a new manager comes in. But Flo, I think Turkish has hit the nail on the head there.
And the bigger picture. The bigger picture is the board.
That is crazy.
Oh my God.
That is crazy. 100% agree, because look, we're not saying Arteta is the right man by any stretch of the imagination. That's down to that will come out in the wash over time, right? But why you're going to move the manager, and you're going to have the same people handpicking people who don't counter them, who don't question them, who don't want more money, who don't want the financial backing that other managers do. What is the point? Shaheen, Flo is saying, you've heard what Flo's saying. I'm trying to hold.
Flo came on us again. Sorry, Flo, we can't get you on today, but we'll get you on Friday. You can come on, and he was very passionate about the point that he wanted to argue. But I'm gonna have to stick to my point and find my corner here, which is, the problem is not really Arteta, bro. He's just been given a job. He's been, fast-tracked into a job. He's here now. Unsurprisingly, he's not doing well. There are people who thought this guy is good enough for this job, and you've got to question the thought process of these people. These are the same people who sign in, who extending. These are the same people who went out there, spent £70 million on a winger when we were crying out for a centre-back, and at the same time spent £30 million on a centre-back, loaned him out to his club, and now he can't get a game. So you've got to question these guys. That who thought it's a wise idea to go spend £30 million on a young centre-back who can't get a game? And now I'm hearing things like Arteta's priorities are right-sided centre-back. So why have we spent £30 million on a player and £70 million on a winger that apparently we got done over, and then Raul did, he did this little backhander with someone for 10 million and all. It's like I don't know, man. How can I say? It's like a comedy show. You don't see any other club dealing in this way. I hate to say this, yeah, but they should take a leaf out of Daniel Levy's book, man, because that guy is a shrewd businessman. My man gets fees, or even Leicester. Look look what they did to Man United with Harry Maguire. Well, we never do this. We never do. Liverpool they talk about Liverpool. Liverpool only kicked on because they sold Coutinho for £140 million. They went and bought Van Dijk. And
when was the last time? When was the last time we sold a player for that much money?
What? Alex Iwobi. 30 million?
I've seen some fans asking for him back, saying we would do better.
Man. Alex, it will be 30 million. Oxlade-Chamberlain, similar sort of figure. We never do. We never, we don't do proper heavy duty businesses, man. We don't go and spend heavy duty on someone. And when we do that, apparently, there's been a lot of backhanders, this and that, and then we never sell our players. Aaron Ramsey. How can you let someone like Aaron Ramsey walk away for free? How can you spend £35 million on Shkodran Mustafi and the salaries, and my man is Shkodran Mustafi rejecting Arsenal to walk away for free? Listen, if this was in any business, right, heads would have rolled, except Arsenal.
Well, that head would have rolled with a wig flying off it as well if it was down to me. But the fact of the matter is this, yeah. Look, doing the same thing over and over again is insanity. You think by changing the puppet master still at the top, as Turkish said, is going to be different. He's going to play a different tune. He's going to do something. No, he's not. But look, I'm cautious of the time, so let's just move on because like we could do this all day, and then we'll go through the chats again very quickly. Right. So guys, we've got a big game this weekend, huge game, right? Arteta is literally every single game could be his last game. That's where we're at right now. And there's a very big chance he could lose on Sunday. So what? I don't even want to talk about this, man. Like, this is hurting me. Like, this derby this weekend. Right. So what are your thoughts? And what do you think the outcome's going to be? What do you think he's going to do? Turkish, I'm going to lumber you with this shit first, man.
Well, it's still early in the week, Wednesday. I'm not optimistic right now. I don't think I'll be optimistic in 2-3 days either. But, you know, Arsenal, sometimes they pull one out the bag. Form goes out the window in a derby, especially a North London derby. I don't know, man. I'm just going to hope and pray for the best, really and truly. I don't necessarily think it's a huge game for the football club. For us fans, it is. But for the football club, even if we win, we're not going anywhere. We're not headed in the right direction. Whereas even if Tottenham lose, at least this season, you have seen some sort of something. And over the last 2 years, since they've moved into the stadium as well, you've seen some ambition, even in the transfer window. You know, that's a good point. That's where ambition and direction comes from, not from a random 3 points. You know, this is not a random 3 point. This is North London derby. But the 3 points are not going to get us anywhere. You know, the North London derby is in my heart forever. I always need to win this game. It's not about wanting, it's about needing to win this game. But it doesn't mean nothing. You know, I'll be gassed for a couple hours if we do it. But I'll wake up on Monday and the reality is we're still behind them. The reality is we finished behind them 4 years on the trot. The reality is we're a Europa League club now. It doesn't change nothing.
This is getting depressing, man.
Listen, North London derby is all about bragging rights and all these things, right? And you know, the only saving grace, as Turkish said, is that form goes out of the window. I remember Tottenham, they were on a poor form. I remember it was last days of Pochettino or something like that. They came to Emirates and they got a draw. And everybody was like, right, we're going to batter them. I remember I was watching Expression and he was like, no, we got no chance. We're going to get done out here, this and that. They came and they got a draw. Now, I will take a draw right now. Because the way things has been going on for past few games, you know, we could go and put a Man United type performance, or we could go and get rolled over. I think the key will be Thomas Partey. Are they playing mind games, saying he's injured, he's not going to be ready, and then slowly? You could say
the same with them about Kane as well, though. I don't think Kane never misses a game against us.
Yeah, Mourinho, his cup was starting his thing. So I don't know. If Thomas Partey plays, we could possibly have a chance. But I'll tell you something. I'll be very shocked if any of the Arsenal players actually watch our channel, right? But just in case they do,
of course they do.
If you want to show us that you care, even a slight little bit, you know, people like Bellerin that who come out with this, that, yeah. This is the game that you you turn it on. If you can't put in a performance on North London derby, right, we're done.
On top of that, if you want some more motivation, look, we got the scumbags coming into our flipping chats. Look at this. Come on, you mate. Look at this. We've got Ben Davies. What? There's a few. Mate, they're so brave right now, and they are, and rightly so. And you know, they're on top of us right now as a team, as a business, even. How have they managed to move to a stadium and already have the funds to go for more players? And it took us 10 years. How?
Daniel Levy, bro. They've got somebody like Daniel Levy, who's a good businessman, who's got a bit of know-how with him, right? He does deals, right? He sells players for right price, Ericsson, Bell, all of that, right? He doesn't just do deals. We don't have anybody like that. Daniel Levy on our board. We let Ramsey walk away. You think anybody like Ramsey would walk away for free from Tottenham? No chance. We don't. That's the difference, man.
Man, they'll even sell their tea lady. They'll even make money on their tea lady.
Yeah, well, there we go.
That's the way Levy is.
But you know what? First of all, just thank you everybody for watching our channel. Please hit the like button, subscribe to Turkish channel as well. Thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna put my neck out here. I'll probably get done for this. Yeah, I'm gonna say we'll beat Spurs.
Shut up. You actually going for that? Yeah.
Yeah, it will be a very, very Arsenal thing to do, to go there, beat them,
and then lose,
and then come and get battered at Burnley at home.
Do you know what? That's a good shout. I might actually go and put a tenner on that. You're right, mate. I wish I could be as confident as you. Yes, I believe.
I'm just saying it's a very Arsenal thing to do that.
Well, look, we're a cup team, aren't we? We get up for one-off games, so maybe. But I'm more concerned about us overall. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Levy is the difference between us and Spurs at the moment.
We don't have that sort of. There's nobody at the club that you can say, this guy is a shrewd businessman. There's nobody.
All right, so I'm going to say we're going to win, right? Because I've said it anyway. 5 wins in a row, I've said. And not one has come true yet. So, yeah, it is what it is, boys. I'm a ridiculous optimist. I'll say it all the time, as I keep telling you guys every show to cover my ass, that I will say we're going to win. Doesn't necessarily mean I truly believe it. But I can't go ahead and say we're going to lose to them mugs down the road. So we're going to win. There you go. I said it. We're going to win. Turkish, you want to say something, bro? I could tell.
Nah, I'm not sticking my neck on no line. That's for sure.
You're not stupid like me, bro. You're not stupid like me. I could do.
I've been stupid before, you know. It's no more egg on my face. I don't want it anymore, man.
Listen, man. I've got egg on my face just supporting the club. I walk around with egg on my face all day long. So what difference is a couple more? But anyway, listen. Very quickly, then. We've all heard some rumors about some madness in January. Now, there's a little thing for this as well. We've got an interesting show coming up in the next week or two, a little surprise. But there's rumors about madness going on in January. Has anyone heard of it? And what is this actual madness? Or is it another Arsenal spin just before the transfer window, getting us all excited again?
That's the usual routine for Arsenal now. Comes January, big names is going to get dropped, and then Arteta is going to come out and says we can only do loans, and then we're probably going to go get some unknown on loan or something like that, and then that will be our January transfer window. I even heard Saliba being loaned out. That is a madness. By £30 million player, bring him in, loan him out, bring him back, can't get a game, loan him out.
What is that about? What is that about?
£30 million for a club who's desperate and crying out for money that we don't have money to spend.
And his former partner smashing it up at Leicester.
Yeah, and then people are saying, there's nothing wrong with the board, there's nothing wrong with the owner, Arteta is the problem. What Arteta's got nothing to do with Saliba transfer?
I don't understand that. That's a crazy one for me. And you know what? Fair play to you, Shaheen, because you hit that one early. You was onto that one early, saying, why are we not playing him? Why have we spent 27 million on somebody that's, a future prospect when we needed a ready-made centre back? 27 million? It's a lot of money, no?
Listen, they spent £30 million on Saliba, 8 million on Luiz. That's 38 million pounds. Okay, they could have topped that up by another 4 or 5 million quid, and could have gone and got someone like Aubameyang. You see, that's the difference. And they went and get someone like David Luiz, who's an accident waiting to happen, or and a guy who can't get a game. £38 million for those two. But then you've got Dewa Aubameyang, who's smashing it at RB Leipzig. But now somebody thought it's better to go and get those two that will do us more than Aubameyang.
And he's going to be worth more now. It's going to be worth more now.
That is the problem at this football club, not the manager. That's the main problem at this football club. And until this problem is not addressed, it's just going to be the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, I feel a little bit better because Osman Ali is guaranteeing me that we're going to make signings in January, and one of them will be Buendia. So I don't know what he's smoking, but whatever it is, I'll have a bit of that Osman Ali. It sounds like a nice, cheerful buzz. What do you think of what he's saying there, Turkish?
Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know. I'm never really a big fan of the January window. You can say we need to do business, but even if we do business in January, where are we going? Do you think top 4 is likely, even with Buendia and Szoboszlai coming in? It's probably still not likely at all, you know. But rumors, okay, cool. We'll see if it happens. I can't really. We need that. We should have got that in the summer, you know. And it's not Buendia or Szoboszlai or Aouar. It's all of them. You know, because we need midfielders in abundance. A lot of them need to go and a lot of them need to come in.
Yeah.
Well, YG Chucks reckon Turkish. How do you feel Arsenal sold their best striker to Chelsea? You know,
Giroud scored 4 today against Sevilla.
Guys, just please don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe to Turkish, our channel. Also,
yeah, put that up now. This guy, yeah, I had to bring it up from before. He said our squad is good enough for top 4.
Yeah, I saw that.
One sec, how many people's online now? 190 people, 200 people nearly. All right. Can you lot in the comments please just say random squads in the league that are better than Arsenal's? Please just flood the chat and let Abdul know teams that are better than Arsenal. Because like 5 players from Southampton would probably walk into the Arsenal side. Southampton. And they're telling me our squad is good enough for top 4. Buzzing. Everton. Yeah. Everton. Leicester. These are not even top 4 teams I'm mentioning yet. But they've definitely got better squads than us.
Rodriguez, Grealish, that's all. Yeah,
Abdul, listen, please make sure you come back next week.
This is what I was just going to say. I was just going to do a shout out because we do a Friday night shows, Friday fan camp. This is an opportunity for fans to come on and have their say, because I know people like Flo, they wanted to come on and have their say, they couldn't. So
Abdul, you can come on. I'll make sure.
Yeah, you can come on Friday fan camp. You can come on and have your say about the club. And I tell you what, sometimes some people who are here, one of us 3, they message me and they pull a sneaky one. They may pop in and give you a little challenge. So I'm looking at you, Turkish, by the way.
What?
Because Turkish almost came on the Friday fan camp because he wanted to debate somebody. And I think he got busy and he didn't come on. So yeah, if you want to have your say, come on Friday fan camp. We're going to do the show, put it on. Just come in, have your say. We'll put a link, get it out of your chest, and we can have a debate.
Yeah, we've got a show coming up. It's called Abdul versus Turkish, coming to a podcast near you soon. I don't fancy your chances, Abdul. Every team in your league at the moment is better. Ben Davies, Lee again doing that. Abdul's trolling mad. He's not getting. I think he's being trolled by Turkish, if you ask me. Look, end of the day, guys. Everyone's got opinions right now. The fact is, we've got a massive game this weekend. We need to win it. I am not convinced Arteta's the problem. I think we're, as a fan base, are focusing far too down the pecking order. You know, he's only had one window, realistically. This is my opinion. Like, you've got all that dead wood. Look at the dead wood alone, right? That's not even his. And you tell me how one manager can fix that in one window with 2 signings, like Turkish said earlier. You can't. I'm not saying he's not an issue. I'm not saying he's not going to make mistakes. He is making mistakes. I'm not even saying he's the right man for the job. But I think it's way too soon. Flo's at it again. Arteta is a problem. You stomach it. No, we're not stomaching it, Flo. We're basically suggesting that it's way too soon to be sitting there saying it's his fault. If you pull him out tomorrow, who do you replace him with, Flo? Who's going to come to our club the way it is right now with our owners? Who's coming? You think you're going to get a big manager? I don't think so. Would you take that job right now? I wouldn't. So, look, guys, you know, we could go on about it all day, but look, let's see what happens on Sunday. The first thing is we don't want to lose to that mob down the road. So let's get behind our team. If you're a real fan, think about where the real issues lie. If you want real change, get onto the real problem and start backing each other as fans. Because Turkish has tried many times, a few others have tried. Unless we are united, expect the same thing for the next 5-10 years, guys, because the problem is higher up. It's the puppet masters we want, not the puppet. We could fix a puppet later on, but we need to move the puppet masters that are sitting there taking a piss out of us, taking our money, building other stadiums, using us as an overdraft facility. If you think that's not the problem, you're deluded. I'm going to say it straight. Keep changing the managers all day long if you want. Same legs, different pairs of socks. It's still the same legs. So, does anyone else want to say anything before we close this out? Turkish.
No, man, I'm good.
It's all right if you can attack your manager if you got an owner like Roman. You know, an owner like Roman wants to win.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's for his ego, it doesn't matter. It appeases the fans. It appeases the club. It all works. It's a win-win situation. Because sometimes I think Chelsea fans are a bit too harsh on their managers, but they're justified because a manager comes in, they improve, and like in the last 10 years, it's, in terms of London clubs, they've won the most leagues, but clean, you know? So when you have an owner like that, you can apply pressure to the puppet or the man and the face of it all, the manager. But when you are consistently seeing that you don't have an owner like that, how can you trust them again? I can't stomach Arsenal and the players right now, let alone asking me stomach and Arteta. I'm sick of them all. And you're asking me I'm going to sit here and stomach Arteta. It's not that. I'm sick of it, you know?
Yeah.
Sick of everything.
Well,
look, for me as well, football is about opinions. Right, and the beauty of it is we can all have different opinions. Like me and Turkish will probably have different opinion on Ozil, but we still have a debate about it, and that's what this show and the football is about: debates and opinions. We can criticize the manager when he gets it wrong, and he deserves it. And yes, of course, us as fans have opinion, and we criticize him, and that is what football is all about. But we can't just criticize blindly. We need to just open our eyes a little bit and see what the root of the problem is. And I just, hope that we can all come together as a fan base and get rid of Cronkies.
There you go. I mean, Abdul's come out with another pearl. I'm not going to bring it back up, saying that Emery had a better squad and finished a worse squad and finished fifth. Debatable. Shane Curtin, brilliant stream, lads. You need to advertise more. Shane, thank you for joining us, man, and spread the word. You've enjoyed the show. Spread the word. Everyone on here, we could talk all day long. Keep coming on this Friday. If you guys want your say, as Shaheen has said, come Friday, Fan Cam will drop you a link. Come on, Flo. Come on, Abdul Hamim. And you never know, Turkish might be here to give you a few wise words. But look, I've enjoyed this show. It's been great. We could talk all day long. Let's hope we get the result we need on Sunday. Come on, you fucking Gunners. Just get your asses into gear for this big one. Give us some hope. I don't believe Arteta is the main issue yet, although the jury's out on him. Let's look at it. Let's hope that, let's back him. Let's back let's get onto the owners to try and support him in January. He's only got this window really before the summer. So if we want change, we need to start it ourselves. Shaheen, thanks for coming on again, bro, and setting this up. Everyone have a good evening. Sorry for it being later than normal, but still impressed with the figures and the support. Spread the word, smash those likes. Yeah, smash those likes, spread the words, get your notifications on. There's some big shows coming up. There's another big show that is in the wings waiting to happen. Shaheen knows, I know. Keep abreast of everything. I'm Lavanja, that's Shaheen, that's Turkish. This has been Arsenal Lounge. Good evening, everyone. Be safe, be healthy, and we'll see you on